A deadly plague has spread and wiped out the entire human population, except for two peoples, the Venetians and the Milanese, who closed off their cities and hence survived the Great Plague. Now, these two factions must fight for control over the world. They start at war, they have no diplomats, they cannot train any diplomats. This is going to be a 1 versus 1 campaign. Who's going to win it? Let's find out. So first of all, everyone's rebel. Now, rebel settlements that used to belong to a faction don't have armies in anymore like Vienna, so they're open. But the armies are now outside, so it's not as easy as you'd think. Most of these might actually go into the settlement. So you've got to take that into consideration. First of all, Venice, they've got a much further reach at the start. They've got 3 settlements, and they can get to Jerusalem faster, so that's a money advantage. However, they've got to deal with religion and converting that, which is going to be an issue. Milan, they start off in a more closer to Christian settlement, so they don't have to deal with religion. And they can take all of France and Iberia for themselves. They've also got crossbows, which are really good in auto resolve. There's no Pope in this as well. He's not done respawn or anything. So yeah, who's going to win? I am going to put my guess on Milan. I think those crossbows will be enough. What are they going to do? Well, they might expand out and take rebel settlements first, or they might just go and attack each other. Whatever they do, I'm sure this is going to be a very interesting episode. Let's begin. Also, I forgot to say, there will be no Mongols or Timurids in this campaign. It's just these two factions and the rebels, and I'm spectating as the Aztecs, but they're not going to get involved. The AI can't make it to the Americas. Well, they can with, like, diplomats. It won't happen. It's only happened, like... It doesn't happen. End turn. Okay, so they are at war still. Good, the mod works. Nothing's collapsed yet. Good, the mod's working. Okay, so first of all, no one's taken in land. I thought Venezuela had gone immediately for Zagreb, but apparently not. It's going to be interesting to see where they start off and where they go for. Now, they are having some little sea battles down here, but not much really happening. They collided with each other. I don't know who came out on top. No settlements exchanged yet. They're not crossing into territory. The AI is going to take some time. They're going to explore a bit. They're probably a bit worried that the disease might still be present. But they will start expanding eventually. And so it begins. I think Venice tried to put this under siege, but then Milan attacked them and knocked them off it, and now Milan has it under siege. But I doubt either of them will actually be able to take Bologna here. I don't think they'll be able to do it, because there's a lot of rebels there. Seems like they attacked Venice and they retreated. Yeah, see, they couldn't take the settlement. That was a waste of time for Milan there. They're trying it again. They've got some large armies now. That might be enough to take it. Nah, they just failed. I've done many AI-only time lapses. This is normal. The AI starts off very slow. They've got Dijon under siege, which I did not expect. I thought Milan would go for Italy first. Have they done a bit first ones to take a settlement? It's a weak settlement, no rebels in there. And yes, Milan has begun their expansion, getting into France with Dijon. Surprised Venice hasn't taken Zagreb yet. I bet these rebels are slowing them down. Has it trapped the Venetian army? Like, maybe for the AI, like the AI might be getting a bit confused. I don't know. Silly AI. Ah, there we go, they're alive now. Milan has some quite big armies right now. They're even in settlements. By the way, I'm going to go to turn 500, and it's whoever has the most settlements wins. That's how it's going to work. Milan could make a push and actually take the Venetian capital right now if they really wanted to. And yes, they are doing. They're trying to take Venice itself. Oh, this could be a very quick campaign. I was expecting... they pulled back. I think that was a retreat. Yeah, for some reason they retreated. Maybe worried about this army here. Didn't want to fight on a bridge. I don't know. I don't know what was happening. Venice has reinforced. Venice needs to expand. They've got a massive army here that they're paying for, but they're not doing anything with it. Storm clouds looming over Venice for the impending doom. Milan got a massive army now, pushing on to Bologna. Now Venice does have an advantage. They have a castle. Milan does not. I forgot to mention that. It seems like Milan's doing okay. They've got their crossbows, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And there we go, Bologna has been taken. They've now cut the Venetians off Italy, so now they might be able to get easily into Florence and Rome. Venice, you need to make a move. Do something, please. And there we go, the Milanese swoop down and take the city of Rome. They've got a massive lead. Why is the storm cloud still over Venice? There we go, it's gone. Milan putting Bern under siege and Marseille expanding even further into Europe. Right, they pulled back from those, probably lost. The rebels are forming a conga line of ships. Marseille has fallen to Milan. At last, 71 turns in, Venice moves up and takes Vienna. For whatever reason, why Vienna? They've got these two armies here, they haven't done anything yet. Right, they're expanding now. That should be enough to wake the AI up. Bad start by Venice here, but they can bring it back. Milan has Florence. I think Milan's definitely leading. Come on, Venice. If they actually use their armies, they can still catch up. Yes, here we go. They've taken Zagreb. Right, now it's starting to move. Venetian war machine's on its way. But Milan securing most of Italy now, taking Naples. And that's a lot of valuable land as well. They're even crossing over to get Corsica. Milan blocking off the trade routes here. They had this port blockaded earlier. They're trying to hurt Venice economically, but Venice expanding now into HRE territory. I actually expected Milan to get up here first, but seems like it's going to be Venice taking Nuremberg. Are we going for Budapest as well? Nah, I doubt they'll take that. And now it's Milan who has slowed down. Since taking Naples and Corsica, they haven't done anything. And in that time, Venice has mostly doubled in size. Durazzo has now fallen. They're getting into Greece and heading towards Constantinople. It's going to be a Constantinople versus Rome sort of thing. Very Western Roman Empire versus Eastern Roman Empire. That's how I can imagine this looking at the end. I want to take a look now at some of these merchants. 2 Venetian merchants on the silk here. 2 Milanese ones on the silk there. Is it silk? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, that's about as far as they've got. No one's in Africa yet. Milan has some ships there, but that's nothing. No one's in Iberia. So yeah, it's just all those merchants piled down near Constantinople and that's it. Ooh, Venice itself is under siege. And that's quite a big army. If Milan can take that, then that's going to be a massive hit on Venice. They are trying to take Thessalonica there. Right, turn 104. I want to now check the stats before we see what the outcome of this is. So let's get in Milan and Venice. Overall, Milan are clearly dominant. Military-wise as well. Production, territory, yep. And financial, just. And of course, population, because these Italian provinces here have a lot of population. Can they actually take Venice itself though? Or will the Venetians bring in some reinforcements? Milan took Venice. Venice have lost their capital. Ooh, that's a massive hit on them. It's not over. They've taken Thessalonica. It's one valuable settlement lost, but it's only one. They can certainly take more as they expand. But now they're on the run. Where's the new capital? Bates, is it Vienna? No, where is it? I don't have one. Maybe I got to give it one turn? Yeah, I'll give it one turn. Ah, here we go. Yeah, Zagreb it's been moved to. I guess that is the best place right in the middle, but Milan taking Venice, very valuable settlement, and holding all of Italy now, excluding the islands, but oh well. But where have they done expand to next? Because they've been very slow. Now, Milan should be expanding into France, or the HRE, but they're not doing, whereas Venice is still expanding onto rebel settlements. A new deadly weapon, gunpowder, has arrived. Cornif here has been taken by the Venetians, and it looks like they are interested in Constantinople. The Venetians have now taken stealth, and Milan's still not expanding. They're doing really well, and they've taken Venice, but I'm getting a bit disappointed in them. They should be in a much better position right now. What they're doing is they're wasting time, and this is allowing the Venetians to get stronger and catch up. So it's definitely not over yet. Milan crossing into Venetian territory now. Do they have what it takes to take Zagreb? I doubt it. I think Venice will push them back here. Let's give it a few more turns. Yeah, they're pulling their troops back. They don't want to invest too much. They are putting Zagreb under siege now that the Venetians have pulled out. But nah, I think they're lost. Someone must have brought in reinforcements. Yeah, because the army's weakened. A new border has been opened up. It was actually the Venetians who took Bern, and this here is a castle. And that's interesting to note, because right now Venice has 1, 2, 3, 4 castles. 4 castles. How many does Milan have? 1 in Corsica, so that's basically useless for the AI. They don't know how to send troops over. So they're technically on 0. And that could be really big. That could completely change the game. Milan, they should have taken Bern and Innsbruck, but they haven't done it yet. It's a massive setback for Milan, that. Of course, I still believe Milan have the advantage, but still. I think Venice is still in the game. They can still do this. Right, they're trying to take Innsbruck. That would be very good for Milan to hold. Are they actually going to do it, though? Yes, they did it. So they finally took Innsbruck. Now, it's not the best castle, but they'll certainly be able to upgrade it very quickly. I don't know. There's no other close ones, I don't think. They might take Metz. Venice, you need to strike now. This is your advantage now that you got the castles. Swoop in here and take either Milan or Genoa. That would be really interesting. Ooh, they have taken Constantinople though. Alright, that is really good. I think the Milanese merchants are now dead. And there's still some Venetian ones here, so I bet they stole their assets. Milan got an army all the way down here for whatever reason. A new plague this time. Oof, hopefully it's not going to be as deadly as the last one. What we usually see here is a lot of generals die and the AI slows down a bit. I know you're probably thinking, how can they get any slower? It's turn 1, 3, 4. But you know, they start to lose some troops, and if one faction doesn't lose as many troops, then they can make a move. So it sort of weakens one faction at random, and the other faction is still weakened but not as weak. So this could change the game up again slightly. If anything, it's going to hurt Milan, because they've got a lot of population. So losing the population in these rich settlements is going to hurt the finances, which is their main strength right now. And of course we see a lot of generals die, so that could actually result in a regicide of a faction. I doubt it, but it could. Regicide is when all the generals of a faction die, and so the faction just becomes a rebel faction. That does happen in some AI campaigns. It's very rarely with big factions at the state they're in now, so I doubt we'll see it, but it is possible. The Great Mortality. Ooh, it's gonna get brutal. Venice has taken Sofia, and the Black Death has passed. Milan trying to take Paris. Could be an interesting settlement to hold, but it's just another city. They need a castle to get some real good troops out. Speaking of which, they have just taken Metz and Paris on the same turn, so that is one castle, not the best, but at least it's one. And they've got Paris as well, which should help fix their finances up. Innsbruck has been upgraded. Venice, they've lost their advantage. They've got some valuable settlements in Greece, which might help them financially to fund this front, but yeah, the big advantage that they did have with all those castles, that's all gone. Venice have taken Frankfurt, trying to cut the Milanese off from the rest of the HRE. Milan has taken Toulouse, quite a good castle, probably wanting to get into Iberia, but the most interesting thing is Venice, looking like they are interested in retaking their homeland, but I bet the Milanese will surround them and beat them, more than likely. They haven't done it yet. No, they're just going to stand there. They're just keeping them trapped right now. Weird. Alright, there we go, there was a battle and Venice lost. But Milan, they lost a few troops, of course. Milan expanding and taking Bordeaux now. Venice taking Prague. Oh no, Venice. The people of Constantinople have risen up and overthrown the Venetians. Becoming a rebel settlement. They've taken Krakow, but Venice, that's such a shame to see. That's going to be a massive hit on them, I think. Venice have gathered up a lot of troops and they are pushing into Italy. Will they be able to take anything? Oh, they've pushed the Venetians back, then Milan comes in with reinforcements, and they pull back to Bern. They did manage to take Breslau, and Milan just taking Cannes there. Turn 200 roughly. Let's check for stats, and still Milan, the gap between Milan and Venice is just getting wider and wider. There seems to be one point here where Venice was actually taking the lead, and we can see it in military as well. Milan must have lost a few battles. Venice must have trained a lot of troops. My guess is that this point here was when Venice had the castles and Milan did not, but then once Milan got the castles, they had the economy to support it, and then they exploded. Production, we can see it there. We can see it again with territory. Maybe that was what happened. Maybe Venice had more territory for a bit. Finances, we can't get anything out of that, and then population. Yeah, so maybe it was just them having one more settlement that made that massive gap, but I doubt it. I think it was something to do with the lack of castles on Milan's side, which they no longer have now. We've got a fortress here and a fortress here, which does basically mirror Venice having a fortress here and here. Ooh, we've actually seen some territory change at long last. I was falling asleep there. In just one turn, Milan goes all out, takes Staufen and Frankfurt from the Venetians. That's a massive hit there. That secludes Bern, cutting them off from the rest of Venice. They've taken the valuable Frankfurt, helping them expand further into the HRE later on. And we've got another castle as well, just strengthening the Milanese front line. Venice, all of a sudden, really weak. Well, they were, of course, weak, they were losing, but now suddenly it's very clear that Milan are going to be the dominant power in this. I think Milan have it. They do have a lot of troops around Bern. You know, there was like 100 turns of nothing happening between these two powers, but I think now Milan is ready. They've got the settlements they need. They're all out on Venice. Victory conditions failed. That's because the turn time ended. Yeah, turn time. But we got some more turns to do. Breslau and Krakow just both rose up. What Venice was doing was they were desperately trying to bring troops over onto this front. They abandoned these two settlements, but then they rose up and they lost the two settlements. Oh, now it's just rebels. Ooh. They're trying to take Budapest to try and make up for it, but that's 3 settlements they've lost in total just due to rebels. Milan, on the other hand, they're just expanding. They've taken Angers now, and Reims, Bruges, all in the same turn, I believe. Or in the last 5 turns there. Yeah, Milan's expanding like crazy all of a sudden. I don't know what's happened with Milan. They're just like, okay, now we're going to dominate. Don't know what changed. On the map, Venice looks tiny all of a sudden. Before it looks like they still had a chance. They were like swooping around Milan. They'd secured some territories, some rebels' territories in the back to conquer later on. But Milan's breakthrough there and the collapse of these 2 territories, that's greatly cost Venice. Now they're abandoning Prague as well, taking troops out of there. What is Venice doing? I don't think it'll rise up. I think, yeah, they've secured Prague, that's fine, but still, they've got to be careful. They lost at Budapest. Oh, this is all going one way. Milan are trying to take Bern. They keep sending a lot of troops there. Venice is holding out. They do keep pushing back for the Milanese. But eventually, I think Milan will break through and take it. Eventually. I did not see this coming. They sent an army down to take Ragusa. I don't know when that happened. I did not see that at all. That's just another castle they have down here, and all of a sudden, now Venice is the one lacking castles. Then Venice now struggling to hold out at Bern. They're trying to bring some reinforcements in, but I don't think they're going to get here in time. That's about 3 full stack armies Milan now have surrounding this guy. He's looking out of his tower like, uh-oh, hurry up, reinforcements, get over here. But I don't think it's going to happen. Milan, very large army down here. Probably enough to take Zagreb as well. Bern is under siege. The reinforcements, they're not going to get them in time. I don't think they're going to do it. Reinforcements need about 3 turns, 2 or 3 turns. Next turn they should be able to get them there. But can Milan take it before they do? They took it. Bern has fallen. Another castle to Milan. That was quite a valuable stronghold for Venice. It was really slowing down Milan because they were sending troops in to concentrate on that. But now that's gone, Milan can go all out on these cities here. Venice, you need to act very quickly. Take Innsbruck with this army. Get in there fast. That will be my advice. They are, you know, making a push on Milan a little bit, as we saw there. Are they going to keep it up? I don't think so. I think that AI might be considering going defensive. Nuremberg is slowly about to get surrounded by Milanese troops. They're outside Zagreb as well. Looks like we've got an army going down to Drazor. Yep, they are going for it. Right, they're held out at Nuremberg for now, but they don't have that many troops. Milan can almost just walk in. Yep, they've got it under siege. Nuremberg's gonna fall soon. Milan holding off Drazor for now, but they have taken Nuremberg. Exterminated the population as well. Bet Prague. I bet they'll go for Prague next. Nope, Vienna, straight putting that under siege. And there's no resistance from Venice down here, so they're going to take that instantly. Yep, walked right into Venice. Another extermination. That cuts off Prague, and all of a sudden, Venice is just Greece. That's it, they've got Greece and some territories up here. They don't even have Constantinople anymore. Venice. Milan, of course, taking Sardinia there. But they don't need to worry about the rebel settlements now. They can go all out. Whew, I was worried I'd be sat here for another 2 hours going to turn 500, but no, it seems like Milan has woken up and they're on the move. Come on, Milan, finish it now. So I can go get a ham sandwich with a bit of cheese as well. Or should I go for a chicken sandwich? Yeah, I think I've got some chicken in. Ooh, Milan has Drazor under siege. Are they going to get into Greece? There we go, we've got a foothold in Greece now. Venice bringing back that massive army there to Zagreb to save their capital. They don't want to lose a second capital. That would be a little humiliating for them, I believe. Remember all those rebel pirate ships we saw in the Mediterranean? Where are they? There's some there, there's some there. But generally speaking, when we get to here, it's Milan. Milan has rid the seas of piracy, which is really good to see. That just shows how well they are doing. They're so confident that they're trying to take Prague with a merchant. They've got them blockaded as well. Thessalonica under siege. Thessalonica has fallen. That's cutting off Cornif now. Ooh, it's really messy for Venice. That just looks horrid on the map. I'll give it a few more turns, I think. Look at the amount of troops outside Zagreb. The final epic battle. This is all Venice has left. The Venetian last stand. Can they beat back Milan and make for push to Venice? I don't think so. I think Milan's got it under control. They might lose a few battles early on, but I think they've got it. Or maybe nothing will happen at all. That's always a possibility as well. I'll check back in another 50 turns. Cornif under siege. Oh, sorry. Corinth, as you all want me to pronounce it. Milan lost. This must be a really awkward road to cross. It goes into the water. Like, look at that there, that wagon. Or maybe it's just a bridge. But anyway, that's a pointless bridge. Just go around. And like, what angle is that? Imagine you're driving down this and then all of a sudden you got to make a 160 degree turn or something. Venice still holding on to Zagreb. I don't know how long that's going to last though. They've still got Prague as well. I think the expansion of Milan has slowed down a little bit. We'll end it when it gets to turn 300 to 350. Unless we start seeing a Venetian comeback, but that's not going to happen. Constantinople has fallen to Milan. That's very good, and they're now getting into Iberia as well. Ooh, Venice has actually survived at Zagreb. They did manage to push them back. But, yeah, Prague is under siege now. Milan just going to take this instead. There we go, there goes Prague. Venice now down to the final 3 settlements. 2 castles and 1 city. Milan having some trouble in Iberia though. This settlement did rise up. It's not going to be enough to bring them down, but it does show that they are still having some trouble. Come on Milan, just swoop in and take Zagreb already. They've got loads of tiny armies, that's the issue. Venice is just going to divide and conquer them. They need to put it under siege. That's what we need to see. But no, Venice actually holding out quite well there. Venice making a slight comeback, I guess you could call it. They have taken Constantinople, and they're still holding out in Zagreb. This is just going to keep on going, isn't it? I think once Zagreb falls, then I might just end it there. Oh, they've got it under siege, and Venice is going to be distracted with this army here. Anything else happening? They've put Sofia under siege as well. They've got lots of armies around ready for Constantinople and Cardiff as well. We're going to see it. There we go. Zagreb, the second capital of Venice. At last, it has fallen. Well done, Milan. They've gotten the win. Well done, Milan. And well done to everyone who in Discord voted for Milan. The teams that voted for Milan will now be scoring 4 points. So well done to them. And sadly to the teams that voted for Venice, they won't be scoring 4 points. I thought Milan would win. I was confident. With this faction from the start. They've taken Cardiff now. It's just Sofia, Constantinople and I guess Crete left. But yeah, very interesting to watch. Well done, Milan, and I hope you've enjoyed this video as well. It's taken me a couple of hours to record, but it's definitely been fun to do it. We had some slow points at the start, but the AI definitely did not disappoint in the long run. Alright, I'll give it about, yeah, we'll say 350, give it a little longer. Can Milan actually take Constantinople back? I doubt it. Maybe, I don't know. 13 turns left. They're definitely going for it. That's 4 large armies. They could do it. Okay, they've definitely got the armies for it, but they're not making a push right now. Yeah, see, maybe they might put it under siege here. Oh, they have actually just put... Ooh, they just put both of them under siege. Turn 3-5-1. It really wants me to continue, doesn't it? Like, I was meant to end last turn, but it really wants me to just give it one more end. Alright then, Milan, one more end. Let's see what you can do. You lost Sofia. Can you take Constantinople? I bet they're going to lose, just to wind me up. They did, but they're so close. Give them another turn. Come on, Milan, I want to go get my dinner. I'm hungry. I should have ended this video 30 minutes ago. There we go. Ole, they took Constantinople. I don't care about Sofia or Crete at this point. I'm done. As I said, well done to Milan. Well done to all the teams that voted for Milan. You go up by 4 points. And yeah, that's all taking place in my Discord. If you are interested to learn more about all this team stuff, join my Discord. It will all be explained there. And yeah, it's just some fun events that are going to happen to do with AI onlys and tournaments once I start streaming. And some hot seats as well. Although we're probably full at this point with hot seats. I think there's no spots open. I could be wrong. There might be 1 or 2 left. And the first armies as well to actually cross into the Middle East. I thought Venice would have done this much earlier, but no. I don't know who got here first. I think Venice actually got here first. But still, Milan, they're going to hunt them down. They're not going to let them find a new homeland. If you have enjoyed this, please do give it a like or share with someone else you think might have enjoyed it as well. If you want to see more like this, please do subscribe. Starting this time next week, there's going to be the first ever stainless steel AI only campaign. So yeah, the Medieval 2 Total War mod, stainless steel, we're going to have an AI campaign for it, we're going to watch every single faction and see who wins at the end. Should be really fun to watch. It's going to be a series thing, it's not going to be 1 episode like this, so like 4 or 5 episodes. Before I go, one very quick look at the stats, here we have it. Milan, clearly dominant. Territory-wise, Venice had a slight lead at the start and here, but Milan just took over. Finances, you can just tell Milan is in the lead, and population is like that. Subscribe, like, share, and goodbye.